What's going on, everybody? It's your host, the Crypto Wonder. Let's get right into it. Hope you are doing well. There's a few things I want to talk about in this episode, and I'm going to try to make it clear as I can. And let's get right into it. So, there's a lot of new developments taking place within the Hex ecosystem, pulsechain, pulsex, and it's great to see the shift change in a sense where getting closer and closer to the next all-time high for Hex, closer and closer to the pulsechain mainnet launch, and soon to be pulsex as well. And it's great to see the energy shift change towards the positive instead of just being in a position where you're just wondering, you're not sure what's going on, you're nervous, you're even angry because it's there's nothing taking place except you're in limbo, if you will. You're just suspended in time, just like neither going here or there. It's just whatever. So it's great. The price activity for Hex alone has just been refreshing, to say the least, right? From 1.9 cents, or some people say it was even as low as 1.7 as far as the token price, and it reached 10 cents, right, in less than 3 months. In a bear market, that's not a bad return if you bought and held, and just held, not even staking, but just holding. That type of return is extremely welcomed. Not financial advice. I heard a content creator, shout out to him, speak recently about his platform and what his community. He's also a Hexican as well, but he's since has been pretty much trailblazing a whole different community situation. They deal with smart contracts. It's entirely different. I don't really I don't talk about it. It's only because you know what you guys and girls, you know what I talk about. You know what I'm saying? But there was something he said that I need to sort of like talk about, because I found it very interesting. He was mentioning how some people, delayed gratification is great. And he said, like, why do people frown upon or make it as though passive income is a bad thing? Now, I'm paraphrasing. Don't quote me. Right? He said, why do people feel as if passive income, receiving passive income consistently daily is bad versus delayed gratification? Well, I'm going to say versus delayed gratification. And I thought that was interesting. I really did. And this is a person who, understands, been in crypto for years, and understands the both sides well. So for me, and just to be clear, to provide some context, the reason why he was questioning the whole thing about the passive income is because, okay, in his community, with what he deals with, the passive income is happening, on a daily basis. So you can get passive income daily with the project he's dealing with, right? Now, for me, there's nothing wrong with passive income. In a sense, this is what this is all really about. Replacing the monetary systems that we've been under for all our lives, right? How do we use crypto to finance our life? I mean, you can, for example, lock away your money for however many years, but in the interim, like for right now, how are you going to live? You need to work or have a business or utilize crypto to finance your daily life. I get it. 100%. 100%. But the question and the struggle comes, in my opinion, where people get involved with different projects in crypto, different blockchains doing different things to try to create a system where they can depend on receiving money every day. And a lot of times, more often than not, and I know he understands it, it hasn't worked in the past. It would work for a little bit of time, and then the projects will scam out. The projects, remember the whole thing back in the days, I don't know if you remember, but there are new people too in the crypto space. There was this thing called 404, where you log into a web screen and it's no longer there. You know, the 404 error screen. That was a meme back in the days. That's when you knew a project rug pulled, a project scammed, a project, the developers, the thing is not working anymore, and they ran away with everybody's money. They meaning whoever is part of, whoever created whatever scams in the past, just took off and ran with the money. And so I see now, especially within the last 2 years, that this particular project that he's a part of has been paying daily, every day. And I think that's cool because, again, I'm not opposed to passive income. I'm not opposed to people creating a stream, a revenue stream, if you will, or they're able to change their lives for the better without depending on having to work a 9 to 5 and busting your ass, working hard, doing something that you don't even really want to do, just to be able to eat and keep a roof over your head and pay bills. If you could find crypto and it's working for you and it could replace that without harming anybody, kudos. 100% kudos. The only thing is, for me, like, I think because see, the thing is this, like, folks have short attention spans, because what I've seen in crypto, when you get involved with things that pay daily, right? Crypto spoiled us a lot because there have been things that have come and gone that profess to have been paying daily, paying on a regular basis, where folks, even back in the days with different projects, even announced, like streamers even announced and talked about quitting their own jobs. Like, they've quit jobs, they've said it online and everything, and to their own detriment, because of the projects that they were a part of ended up scamming people. And who wants to face that level of disappointment? Who wants to deal with that type of high level stress? Because, again, you're dependent on something, you're wishing and hoping that it continues, and when it fails, you're back to ground zero and you have to start all over again. And it's a bad feeling. It's horrible. It's horrible. But when you find something that's been consistently paying, I'm not going to, criticize that. Because, and for me, I think it's great. Everything is not for everybody, believe it or not. And I've learned to understand that. You might find, I might scream hex till I'm blue in the face. I might scream about pulsechain till I'm blue in the face. Not everyone is going to take heed. And it's okay. Right? But going back to what I'm going to say about these instruments that profess to pay daily. Again, historically, they've all failed. And then when you have one that's been paying, but the thing about it is that I found very weird is you have to hold the attention of the people. Like, people have to want to continue to come in to use these projects, to use a specific project to generate the interest, to generate the volume, right? To make these things work over a period of time. Because in the beginning, when these things launch, you have certain cycles, right? Like, or I would say not even cycle, but everyone's hyped about it. Everyone's making money, and especially during a bull market, you could throw anything. You could pick any crypto in a bull market, and more than likely, you're going to make some type of money. It may not all be the same amount, but you're going to make something because the prices are going up for everything. It's a bull market. But when you have something that just started and people are jumping in early, and then you have a bunch of people after them and a bunch of people after them, they're trying to do the same thing that the people who got in early did, and it doesn't really work out for them over a period of time because the bear market came in. And not only the bear market, but people start losing interest in the project, right? Because the price of the token is dropping, so you're not getting the same returns, right? People start to lose interest. How do you keep people buying into these same things that once worked very well for the new people and is not working so well for everybody else? I understand, like, you can introduce strategies. If you've been in early and you're trying to help your community, you can introduce strategies or you can even tell the community how you did it. But people want instant results right now. They don't want to wait and think about it. They really barely want to even hear your story. They just want to be able to win the same way you've been winning. And it's hard because a lot of times these markets don't really think about how we feel, right? They just don't. And a perfect example of what I'm talking about is when proof of weak hands came out, right? They introduced the whole 80-20 thing, 10 in, 10 out. The problem with that is it seemed like if you can't keep the interest, if you can't keep people coming back, those contracts just end up, nothing happens. Like, it's slow moving. The crypto that's just there remains there unless you sell, right? Or you buy into. Unless you care to even just have it, it's just going to sit there and just do what it's supposed to do, whatever. It's just going to be very boring, slow moving. You're not yielding a lot of results, and no one's going to care. People are going to stop caring after that pre-3D wave, the proof of weak hands wave, right? And it's like, okay, what now? Because it's not that the contract scammed. It's not that. It's just the model and the way that the thing works. Someone's always going to feel like they lost because they came in last, and everyone who was in there before them benefit because the system is designed a certain way where, sure, if you hold on for a very long time, you're going to get returns from those who come in and those who leave because of the design of the contract, right? But then if you don't have a real community that's growing, right? A real community that believes in the project and that continuously expands, you're really going to be sitting there wishing and hoping that something happens, and that's not a good feeling. Where you have to wait sometimes. I mean, P3D has been dead since 2018, and the contract still exists. It's still on the Ethereum blockchain. It still exists. But no one cares anymore. When you lose the interest of the people, when you can't keep people who have short attention spans excited or interested, then that passive income, that stream of passive income, or that opportunity right there to receive money every day goes away. Right? Another system, you have other systems that have since been created that have also been not the same as P3D, but have done different things to show people, listen, they can earn something daily. The issue with that is you got to look. The one contract that's been paying daily, it's almost like, again, other contracts had to be created within that ecosystem to keep the interest going, right? Because the one contract that's been paying daily, it went through its hype cycle, then the market changes, everybody's feeling weird, or not everybody, but the majority of people that came in late are upset because they lost out on all the gains that those who are already in made, which is something that you can't fault yourself for, because it's life. Those who got in, got in. You can't blame yourself, or other people can't blame you for getting in. Just like how it is now with what's about to be with pulsechain and pulsex. Those of us who sacrificed, we did what we did. I'm not going to be upset at that or feel sorry for anybody, for example, because we did what we did. We were there at the right time. Timing is everything. So with these other communities, a lot of them, they start with one project, and then all of a sudden they introduce another project. Then they introduce another project. Then they introduce another project to actually build momentum, or to maybe substantiate the validity of that one project, just so that they could keep the interest going, or that they could find other ways to help the community make money, right? But people are still sort of like in disbelief, or not really wanting to take the chance to invigorate, or even buy into the token, to buy into whatever they got going on, much less introduce new people, right, into the projects. Because this is how a lot of these things are able to thrive over a long period of time, right? When you have community interacting with these projects, expanding, where other people know about it, they learn about it. And this is why a lot of times we use social media to talk about these things. So, especially on YouTube and things of that nature, because YouTube has the widest reach. It's the largest, I would say, social media outlet. YouTube is just, bar none, number one in the world, right? That's why a lot of times when folks had the channel struck and they would, seek alternatives, decentralized platforms and things of that nature, it never panned out to be much, because YouTube has the widest reach. And so folks would try to, shill or promote their whatever projects they have, and try to just share it with the world to attract the people, so the people could come into the community and use these tokens, use the projects that I'm talking about. Because after a while, it just becomes just like whatever. If no one's buying anything, nothing is happening. Or if they are, but the market is low, people become angry and they start criticizing, throwing, pointing fingers, and, judging those who were in it in the beginning. As you have communities criticizing them and turning towards them, and a bunch of like drama ensues, right? It's weird, but that's just how it is right now. I guess crypto still as a market, it has a long way to go, where we could see some of these things like kind of like change over time for the better, right? And this is why I say it's kind of different in Hex. It's a little different. It's the same kind of thing where people who get into Hex, they hear about the 10,000x narrative, right? And so naturally someone else coming in hearing that would also want to experience 10,000x. And the thing about it is, whether there may be a 10,000x or not, you see that other things are being introduced by way of possibly even need, because Ethereum has just been horrible with the fees. So the founder of Hex, Richard Hart, decided, well, he's going to create a new chain. And in the process of creating a new chain, created a sacrifice period for pulsechain and pulsex. which is the decentralized exchange, to go work hand in hand with pulsechain, right? To boost hex, because folks can't see, it's again, it's the thing about attention span. When you see how something works and you see the good that is done for so many people, and you feel bad because you missed out and you want to experience that, but then by the time you come in, you're not really experiencing the same gains that those before you have, you did feel bad. You're right. People tend to feel bad. They get frustrated. They get angry, and especially when the market downturn comes, when there's a bear market after, when you coming into the high at the top, you buying at the top, and then the market swiftly changes and not only goes down, but it goes down and stays down for a considerably long period of time. The bear markets last longer than the bull markets. That's what's been happening in crypto. The bear markets have been lasting longer than the bull market. So a person comes in, even with the other community I'm talking about, these projects or whatever, and they're excited because the prices are going up and they bought the top, and then everything goes down and they hold it on. It's nothing but anger, despair, frustration, misery, pain that you'll hear from the majority of people. Only people who feel otherwise are those who know, those who have been in the markets, the movers and shakers that have been participating in this for a long time, because you already know how this goes. You're familiar with the cycles, right? You're familiar with the cycles. The passive income that you get with Hex is not the same. That's why they called it. That's kind of the reason why people have to understand it was described as the first CD on a blockchain, the first certificate of deposit on the blockchain. When you go to a bank and you purchase a CD, you're not buying the CD to get passive income for daily living, right? It's not for that. It's not for that. You have to find another way to make money to sustain you on a day-to-day. But not with this particular system. It's not for that. It's just designed a lot better than a banking CD. It's designed much better, greater than a banking CD. Hex is designed much better than a banking CD. It's not for passive daily income. You get your rewards daily, but you're supposed to receive it at the end of your locking period, because that's the only way you could get your rewards, is if you lock the coins up. Otherwise, you have to hold on to the token. And well, this is before we had other products. Before there were other things like Hedron and Icosa. Hex was just designed for you to just lock it up and receive yield. Like, as far as the best saving type of mechanism, function in crypto, compared to the banks. It's not for daily yield. When you have something else that's providing daily yield, it's daily yield, meaning like passive income, where you're earning something every day that's beneficial, but it's also sort of like difficult, because, and what I say difficult is because you have to keep people, you have to keep them, you have to keep their attention. You have to find ways for them to keep coming back. Otherwise, it's not going to be as successful as it can be, especially if it's solid. And I'm not talking about Hex. I'm not talking about Pulsechain. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about these other things that exist here. Because as a person who's in Hex, I can't pretend that there are no other. I wasn't in Hex in the beginning, right? I was dealing with other Ethereum projects, the Ethereum, projects and other blockchains and things of that nature. So I can't pretend like everything else doesn't exist in a sense, because I'd be disingenuous, right? So what I'm saying is, just to basically explain myself, we're talking about passive income. Like, it's not that I don't think, like, for me, it's not that I frown on passive income with the instant gratification, because you need passive income again for day to day. And if you could find it in crypto, then that's excellent. But it's the whatever tool that you're using to earn it, it should be able to continue to grab the interest of the people. If the code is solid, if the code works, because that, again, I'm a simple person. I'm not interested. I'm not going to lie to myself and act like I got to go through every code and every contract and every such and such, because I don't do that in my day to day. If I'm driving, I want to make sure that my car is reliable, is safe, is going to take me to point A to point B, and that the machine, the engine runs. I don't want to know how the engine was built. It's not my proclivity. I'm not interested in that. So it's the same thing with these contracts, these tokens, the functionality. You just want to make sure it works. Majority of people just wants to make sure these things works. And if they work, then you're winning. Now, how are you going to keep the people interested to come back? Because you could have something that works great. If the community doesn't care for it, it's futile, it's useless. This is why I say it's not quite the same with Hex. Because even during this last year, 2022 was a brutal year for the bear market. It was brutal, especially brutal for people who were brand new, who came in at the top and stuck around for this long. It's been very hard for them. But this is, again, when people think about these 10,000x gains, you think 10,000x did not come, you think it just arrived here without having extreme dips in the market? You think it was just a straight shot from 0 to 10,000x with no corrections whatsoever? You'd be fooling yourself if you thought that. No pain, no gain. The adage that I used to, when I was, in school playing sports, no pain, no gain. In the gym, exercising, weightlifting, playing sports, no pain, no gain. It's the same adage that rings true with these markets, with crypto, with just like no pain, no gain. Oh, you want maximum gains? You have to go through maximum pain. You have to hold on. You have to, because this is one of the ways that people win in crypto. Just by being a hodler. You don't even have to lock away your coins to earn yield, depending on the right coins. You understand? So that's part of what I was trying to say. With response to this content creator that a comment I heard him say, and I thought it was very interesting because it's appropriate, because we all trying to find a way to sustain ourselves and create different streams of income, so that we don't have to, again, work hard, doing things that either we care about, which is great. If you love what you do, you never have to work a day in your life, they say. But if you're working just because you have to work, and you're doing things that you don't particularly care for, and you find yourself toiling for years and years and years and years, and you find a way to replace that with something sound in crypto, then it's all A1. My thing is just right, finding a way. Once you could plug yourself into something that keeps working, not only does it keep working for you, but the people love it and the people use it. Not only love, but that they're using it. Then there's nothing. There's the sky's the limit. I mean, like, not even. There's no limit. There's nothing holding you back. That's the thing. A lot of these communities, think about every project, and this is for the content creators and the crypto people that have been in the space. Think about every project that has come, that might still be around, or that have come and gone, and etc. Like, what causes them to fail? What causes them to not work anymore? What, besides scamming, take the scamming thing out. Those that are still around, when people stop using them, when people are not using them as much anymore, when the community doesn't believe in it anymore, leaves it alone or walks away, and then it's just there stagnant, that's what could be a problem. That's what could destroy any project. If people start believing in Hex wouldn't be where it is today. period. If people stop believing in Ethereum, Ethereum wouldn't be where it is today. Bitcoin wouldn't be where it is today. Anything. That's the major stumbling block and impediment and blockages that you find in these other communities. Because let me tell you, if you're not in Hex and you're in other communities, or you believe in Hex and you're doing whatever you're doing, and you have something that's paying you every day, again, this is the jewel. This is not even a jewel. It's just a fact. What is it that your project has that's going to keep people coming, keep new people coming in, new people coming in, new people coming in, new people coming in? And it's not trying to introduce Ponzi-nomics, but it's just trying to offer something that's going to just let the people know in the world, listen, this is what this is. This is what it pays you. You decide what you want to do. And if it's sound, if it's solid, if there's no shenanigans going around, and if it makes sense, then people are going to use it. Who doesn't want to make money? Unless, who doesn't, unless you're off the grid, but who doesn't want to make money? But you got to keep the people interested. Because if you have the best thing, because everybody likes to say they have the best thing in crypto, right? And it's no shot to anybody. It's just trying to be as objective as I can be, even though I participate in crypto and I love it. If you have the best thing, everybody should know that. If you have the best thing and it's proven, then everybody should know that. And it shouldn't really come from you saying that you have the best thing. Because right, the work should speak for itself. The work should speak for itself. You could be a fan, you could be a supporter, 100%. That's human. Like we're gonna talk about what we like. We're gonna talk about what we support. We're gonna talk about what we're fans of. This is natural. That's natural. But everybody should know. Because who doesn't want the best way to make money? Easiest way to make money passively with crypto. Crypto affords you the easiest ways to make the most money we've ever seen in our natural lives, without risking too much, without risking our lives and right, beating ourselves down and doing things that's hurting us. It's giving us stress, creating ailments and all this crazy stuff. Crypto eliminates all that. Where you just sit down or you just live your life and not have to worry about financial worries ever again. The people should know. The people should know if your project is that good. It shouldn't be the same people talking about it over and over and over and over. It should expand. The community should grow. If you've been around 1 year, 2 years, why? I mean, like folks it should be a lot. It should generate a lot of momentum, a lot of news, a lot of market, because naturally, if you're experiencing something good and you're not a selfish person, why wouldn't you share it? Because that's also contagious, right? In a good way, spreading the good word. And in a time where, there's so much macroeconomic craziness going on, there's always been financial craziness going on in the legacy systems that we still live under. Why wouldn't you want to share good news on the crypto side and for people to believe and attach to it? How do you keep the people attached to what you got going on? To when they talk to their people about it and they come and they go, People think that Bitcoin is the best thing since sliced bread. And Bitcoin is still like, clunky and it has its own limitations. So it's going to take a while for people to buy into it. But that's just all I wanted to say. Present some viewpoints in regards to, like, for me, I'm pro delayed gratification and I'm pro sound and strong ways to earn passive income. That makes sense. Seriously, that really makes sense, because Because look at Hex right now. In some cases, the original people who were in Hex, the early people who participated in Hex and who are still in the community, and if they amass a bunch of T-shares early in the Hex system, we know Hex doesn't provide passive income daily if you're locking it without you suffering a penalty if you emergency end stake. We know the system is different. It's designed for you to save your crypto and earn crypto over a long period of time. But with Hedron, when you're staking Hedron, if you have enough economic power and enough money, that's free money you getting every day that you can mint. You could mint Hedron every day. That's passive income. But that's with the Hex system. The Hex system has shown things that it's like a cut above the rest. Each day that goes by, the network effect for Hex just becomes stronger and stronger and stronger. There's no, you can't refute that. You can't refute that. And it's providing things to help people not only understand it, but to benefit from it. Not everyone can earn income with Hex if they weren't in the system December 2019. Or maybe like the first 4 months, 6 months. They can't receive passive income, by way of like Hedron, right? Like, because, the first 2 years when Hedron came out, you could have minted 2 years worth of Hedron, depending on how many T-shares you've had, and had like a handsome payout. The people did that. They sold and received tens of thousands of dollars. Like they sold, and they still, because if they did what they were supposed to do, they get 10x bonuses. So each day they're getting a 10x bonus because they did the right thing. They knew what they were doing. But again, you had to have been in the beginning for that. There's certain things that we have a long journey. There's certain things that have been developed that weren't here 3 years ago that are here now. And imagine what another year, 2, 3, 10 years are going to bring. But it is expanding, and it's expanding in a way that's so organic and so powerful because people are so excited for V3. It's as if mainnet is about, And it's a beautiful thing all around. But that's it for me, man. I took up too much of your time, and if you've been with me this long, you're the winner. All right? Hope you remain well, and I'm going to ask y'all to do something I haven't done in a long time. Maybe I should have said it in the beginning, but oh well, here we are. If you like the video, I appreciate you. If you subscribe to the channel, I appreciate you too. Leave a comment, I appreciate you as well. You share it, you already know the deal. I'm going to catch y'all on the next one. Take care.